Okay, so the Devo from earlier this week was really from the perspective of Paul. God had given him the right plan at the right time, and he was the right person. As we're looking through that, we can see that God's been moving that plan from the very beginning. And as I am preparing this for you all today, I'm so excited. You didn't realize, but this week's Devo is actually a two-part Devo. Last week was about Paul. But this week I have these other questions. We realize that the gospel is the right plan. But when we look at right time, we look at the circumstances that are all around us, that are consuming us, that press in on us, that cause anxiety. And what if these circumstances are no surprise to God? What if they surprise us and catch us off guard, but He knew already and already had a plan? The next one, right person. What if you are intentionally here for just such a time as this? When I look at these ideas and we're thinking right plan, right time, right person, it's easy to see Paul and we think of him as some hero of the faith. But what if those truths also can be applied in our life? That I'm here right now with the right plan, with the right time, and as the right person. That you're here with the right plan, with the right time, and the right person. Look at what Psalms says. There's several verses there that I just want to share with you from Psalm 139, starting in verse 1. Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. You understand my thoughts from afar. You observe my travels and my rest. You are aware of all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you know all about it, Lord. You have encircled me. You have placed your hand on me. This wondrous knowledge is beyond me. It is lofty. I am unable to reach it. Skipping down to verse 13, it says this. For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wondrously made. Your works are wondrous, and I know this very well. My bones were not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was formed in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All my days were written in your book and planned before a single one of them began. So, in this world, is it a concoction of chaos? Is it just insanity all over? Or is it an accident? The Bible tells me absolutely not. The Bible tells me that He had a plan and an agenda, and what I may perceive as a concoction of chaos, in reality, is something that He's using to share His message. I want to encourage you to look up Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 6 through 15, and Psalm chapter 100, verse 3, as you look at God's sovereign power, His might, and His intentions. But what I want to use today in bringing this devotion to a conclusion is Esther chapter 4, starting in verse 11. All the royal officials and the people of the royal provinces know that one law applies to every man and woman who approaches the king in the inner courtyard, who has not been summoned: the death penalty, unless the king extends the golden scepter, allowing that person to live. I have not been summoned to appear before the king for the last 30 days. That's an interesting verse that is brought up. Why is Esther saying this? See, what's happened is the entire nation of Israel is about to be exterminated. And her uncle Mordecai comes and says, listen, you got to go to the king, your husband. You got to go and share with him what's happening. You've got to go. And this was her reply. I can't go to the king. If I go before the king unsummoned, I get the death penalty. And he hasn't called me before him in 30 days. So Mordecai's response is following there in verse 13. It says, Mordecai told the messenger to reply to Esther, don't think that you will escape the fate of all of the Jews because you are in the king's palace. If you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will come to the Jewish people from another place, but you and your father's family will be destroyed. Who knows? Perhaps you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. It's that last line that I wanted us to really reflect on. Such a time as this. See, in Esther's world, there was a concoction of chaos. There was craziness all around her, insanity swirling, accusations, hatefulness, lack of justice, nothing beautiful. Sometimes we look around and we see illnesses around us or injustice that's happened and we get offended. And I think we can hear God speaking to us today. Isn't it possible that I put you there with the right plan at the right time and you're the right person? I've placed you there for such a time as this. Today, I look and see God has communicated his plan. The circumstances are no surprise to God at all. You are intentionally here for such a time as this. It's the right plan, it's the right time, and you're the right person.